Hello everybody, Mealworm here. So we are now in the test server, and in this video I want to go through looking at the new capital freighter ships. These are massive and these are very, very exciting for Eve Echoes here. So let's get started. Now, like in the patch notes, there are 4 of them. They are in their own class of ship now. They are capital ships. So these are the only ones that are currently available. One for each of the factions here. Right now they're all seeded into the market at 100 apiece. So pull one of these things out, take a look. They're all very good fun. But if we look at this, I'm just gonna pull these up really quick. You're gonna notice there are no highs, mids, or low slots. These are basically just here to carry cargo. All 4 of these ships have absolutely massive cargo holds. It is absolutely insane. The top bonus is going to change based on the faction. So there's percentage shield resist, percentage armor resist, just percent shield on top, and percent armor on top. The bottom bonuses are the same across all of them for Freighter Command, and it's 5% cargo hold capacity and 5% flight velocity. And you'll see the flight velocity is absolutely abysmal. These things are big, big ships made just to carry absolute loads of things across. So if we open up, take a look, cargo hold capacity 325,000 meters cubed. Now that is before skills and before any rigs as well that you'll be able to put onto these ships. So they all follow the same sort of format there. We can take a look at the Fenrir and you'll see armor resistance, same bonus, little bit less. The Fenrir is 295,000 base, and the Providence and Obelisk both have 290,000 at base. So small differences there in terms of the cargo space. Really, you can kind of pick whichever one you think looks the best or whichever one you want to be seen on grid flying around. Now let's take a look at the skills associated with flying these absolute beasts. So in standard fashion, under cruising, under spaceship command, we have the 3 levels. Now these take an absolute monstrous amount of time. So if we take a look, level 5 expert, it's going to take 11 million SP. Now these skills here for command are going to be the most important. Not only because freighter command is what the skill boosts are based off of, but it is going to reduce the inertia. And I'll show you guys, these take an extreme amount of time to align and warp out. Also to fly, you have your defense upgrade. Now the defense upgrades are going to work in a slightly different way versus the other ships. So whereas there we go. So the freighter defense upgrades, the first level is going to add flat amounts to shield, armor, and structure. And these are massive, massive values here that you'll see. The second level and the third level of defense are going to add percentage boosts to everything. And that is the same for expert as well. So these are going to get very, very tanky. They're also very slow. Engineering is kind of on its own here if we go all the way to the bottom. Now you'll see I don't really have any skills here. Because there are no highs, mids, or lows, there's really never an instance where you need cap. I mean, unless you're being ganked and getting neuted down. Even still, these ships have an extreme amount of capacitor available. So if you look at freighter engineering, you'll see it gives, what you would expect, warp need, and actual power grid. Why there's a power grid bonus, I don't know. You can't actually fit anything to these. That goes all the way down. Now you will notice this here, freighter manufacturing material efficiency. I don't know why this is here. I've actually leveled this up to try to test. This bit of the skill does not seem to do anything when producing these ships or their components, which we'll get into later. So not sure what that is. So quite frankly, unless there's a change between now and when T10 hits, don't even bother with the engineering points, especially because, like before, this is just the advanced level. The bottom one, 4 million SP. And then let's just take a look here and hurt ourselves. I can't even see how much it's going to be because I haven't unlocked it. But those are basically the 3 skills it takes to fly these things. And these are big. This is I'm zoomed out all the way here in the station, and I can barely get it to fit on the full screen. But let's take a look here. I think I don't have this fitted with. Oh, I do. So I have 3 polycarbs on this to try to get that inertia down, and it's not too bad for its size. Actually, you'll see we have a warp prep of 22.9 seconds. That sounds like a lot, but when I show you the cargo hold on this with the skills, it's going to be insane. Another thing that you can do here, if you take off all of these polycarbs, you can put on the cargo 3s, which can get you, I think, close to 1 million meters cubed on the actual space itself. If we open the cargo hold, we'll see. So this is just skills. We're at 406,000 meters cubed, and that is an insane amount of space. Now let's say we go into fittings. All of the tier 3 rigs are reseeded into the market, so I just bought a whole bunch of them here. So let's put some cargo 3s into this. And this is what you can expect with maximum skills, until tier 4 rigs. This is basically what we can expect. If we go back into the cargo hold, 1.13 million meters cubed of cargo space. That is insane. And so now that we've taken those polycarbs off, actually, we can take a look. We can take a look and check our align times. Should that not be in ship info? I don't think it's under fitting. Alright, navigation, 40 seconds. So they are going to take quite a bit to get out there and get warped, but if you're used to trying to just fill out a covert ops frigate with 5,000, this thing is just going to absolutely smash through that. If you're moving materials to HiSec or staging for forward operating bases, if you have escorts, these ships are going to have a lot of absolute utility. With those max skills I have in defense, without any defensive rigs, the ships are all a little bit different. Obviously, the Minmatar and the Yamar are going to be focused towards armor, where the Gallenti and the Caldari are going to be focused towards shields. But, even with no rigs, you can expect at least 500,000 EHP on these. So you won't be able to rep, so make sure you have escorts. Really, if you're anywhere outside of HiSec or even NullSec, you should definitely be having an escort with these. So that's basically it for flying these things and fitting them out. Basically what you see here are the only options available, just rigs. Now, the interesting part where these are really going to get crazy is in the manufacturing. So if we go into the ship info and we try to open up its blueprint, you're going to see that it's not going to use minerals or PI to build these. They are going to use structures. Now this is what was noted in the patch notes and that I had talked about in my video going through all those patch notes, where these are going to require these components be built, and then the components can come together for the actual blueprint. Now each of these themselves, the blueprints, just like regular structures, the blueprints are going to be seeded on. I guess we're in test at the moment. The blueprints are going to be seeded onto the market for I think 30 million apiece. So you'll need quite a bit of those. But and then the blueprint for the actual ship is going to get reverse engineered just like normal. These are tier 10 ships. There we go. These are tier 10 ships, so they're going to use the cores based on their factions to get those. We can poke in to see. Now these blueprints they're not coded in everywhere very well. So if we pop in here and go to the view blueprint, there we go. a bunch of windows across. So in this case, for these armor plates, the ship's going to need 5 of these. So I don't have any skills in building, and I'll get through those in a moment, but you'll see these are not cheap. Just, one of these alone is going to be 7 million trit, 1.6 pyrite. These are going to get quite expensive. You can see their manufacturing cost is 150 million here, and they take 24 hours at base. Interesting enough, the structure pieces themselves are tech level 9. So as soon as these things hit live, you'll be able to start actually queuing these up to be ready when tier 10 hits. You can immediately, get a blueprint, reverse engineer blueprint, and get the ship cooking. As far as getting the ship cooking, let's show you. 17 days and 8 hours. Now you see this is no skills involved, but just know that these ships are going to be an extreme time commitment. Not only to collect all the required materials, but to build what they call the salvage parts here, or the capital components, and then the actual ship building itself. If you're familiar with EVE Online, you'll know that capitals and dreads, can take more than a month to build, just sitting in a station waiting for that. Now, as far as manufacturing these goes, with the skills involved with that, it's going to be real run-of-the-mill as you would expect. There's 2 new sections here. If we go all the way down here, we have freighter manufacturing, and where this manufacturing material efficiency will actually come into play versus the weird instance of it in the engineering skills section. So those are going to work just like they normally do, all the way across, but then under them added all the way here at the bottom, we have the actual capital ship components. So this is what is required to reduce the planetary and the mineral costs of those extra components. And then the freighter manufacturer will reduce the number of components required. If you're familiar with my all-in-one industry calculator, I'll definitely be getting a sheet in so you can take a look and see where your different skills will reduce costs, as well as total material costs to build these ships. It's going to be quite interesting seeing these floating about. Hopefully this will help kind of equalize some of the economy when things can be easily moved from station to station, or from high sec to low sec to null sec, or vice versa. We really won't know until the actual live server is hitting tier 10. It's a bit of a Mad Max wasteland out here right now, but I wanted to show these off because as an industrial player, I'm excited to be able to move all of my minerals all at once, albeit very, very slowly. So as always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me on Discord, comment onto the video here. I'll get back to everyone as soon as I can. Expect a lot more videos this week with this test server. There's a lot of new things, a lot of cool things coming out, a lot of changes, good and bad to be honest, but stay tuned and I'll get all this information out to you as quickly as I can, and I'll see you all in space.